There's been no discernible reaction to the newsletters. The crowds are as big as they were. And the interesting thing about Ron Paul is that he doesn't shy away from his controversial stands. In his stump speech, the guy's actually developed a stump speech. He starts off with a long section about foreign policy, about the things that Republicans are least likely to support in his platform. And then he does another long section about civil liberties, you know, about the Patriot Act, which he opposes. And so you got to give the guy credit for the courage of his convictions. And by the way, you know, the reality is that we're probably not going to be able to stop Iran from getting a bomb the way, you know, if that's what they choose to do. And the way we're going to react to it is the same way we reacted to the Soviet Union. It's going to be containment and deterrence. That is not an unreasonable policy. The Iranians took 1 million casualties in the war with Iraq in the 1980s. I mean, I've spent time there. And that is one of the foremost facts of life in Iran. Those guys don't want to go to war again. If they got a bomb, it would just be to deter Israel and Pakistan.
Bill O'Reilly, he's out hawking his book, so he went on the NBC's Today Show. Look at what he says about Ron Paul.
Ron Paul.
His foreign policy disqualifies him in my eyes as an American, not as a journalist. But, you know, I don't think we need another Neville Chamberlain with Iran. And, you know, so he wants to be friends with Iran as well.
All right, now you're going to say, okay, Bill O'Reilly's just like every other sellout establishment person on air, whether it's representing Fox News and their business interests, etc. So he hates Ron Paul just like everybody else. What's the interesting part of this? Wait till you hear Bill O'Reilly talking to Mitt Romney about Iran. Now listen for what O'Reilly's real views on Iran are towards the end of this clip. Let's watch.
I'm ready to make sure that we have military options that combined with crippling sanctions.
Of course we have military options.
Well, but we have developed in a way that Iran understands we would use military options.
Are you a tough guy? Are you going to stare them down and say, look, I'm going to use them? Because if you bomb Iran, that starts World War III. You know that. I mean, they're going to try to block Hormuz. Oil will double. The unintended consequences all against the United States all over the Muslim world will be horrible. That's what Iran is banking on.
So, in the earlier clip, O'Reilly says, oh, well, Ron Paul's position on Iran disqualifies him. Disqualifies him. In this clip, he says, oh, well, everybody knows that we can't start war with Iran. It would be World War III. The price of oil would double. We would have World War III on our hands. The reaction of Muslims across the world would be, quote, horrible. So actually, O'Reilly doesn't want to attack Iran, and he doesn't even disagree with Ron Paul's position on Iran. Because this isn't about Iran. This is about disqualifying Ron Paul by any means necessary. Fox News and the rest of the conservative and Republican establishment hates Ron Paul because he would actually upset the system where they rob us blind.